So the Marquis of Cholmondeley steps up towards the Queen's car and accompanied by the Duke of Edinburgh, who's over that health scare that he had last Christmas. And there we have the symbol to the world that the Queen is now at the Palace of Westminster, the Union flag, the Union Jack being lowered and the Royal Standard, to the fanfare to welcome the Queen. Covered as arranged, and the Lord's Mace likewise, as the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh are led to the pair of thrones under the great south window in Westminster Hall. Queen passes the Archbishop of Canterbury, and the Prime Minister makes her way to the throne and to the microphone that's been set there ready for her response to the addresses by the Lord Speaker, first of all Baroness de Souza, and then John Bercow, the Speaker of the House of Commons. The yeomen of the guard, the gentlemen at arms lining the staircase. So the hall is ready for Baroness de Souza, the Lord Speaker.
Most gracious Sovereign, we, the Lords spiritual and temporal, are assembled here today to celebrate 60 years of your reign. We record with warmth and affection our appreciation of your dedicated service to your people and your unequaled sense of public duty over the years. Service and duty to which you have only recently and so movingly rededicated yourself. We celebrate, too, your stewardship of your high office. You have personified continuity and stability while ensuring that your role has evolved imperceptibly, with the result that the monarchy is as integral a part of our national life today as it was 60 years ago. We rejoice in this Jubilee, and we give thanks for all that it represents. At the same time, we record our gratitude for the support which you've received throughout your reign from His Royal Highness Prince Philip, for in this year of Jubilee, we celebrate his service too. This is one of the first of many celebrations to be held up and down the land. In the coming months, you and the Duke will travel widely throughout the kingdom. But today, you've come to Parliament, the constitutional heart of the nation, and granted us the privilege of being the first of your people formally to honour your Jubilee. And where better to begin the celebrations than here in the splendour of Westminster Hall, a hall of kings and queens for almost a millennium. While this hall has seen many historic events, few are permanently commemorated. So we look forward with great anticipation to the unveiling of the stained glass window, which members of both houses have commissioned in honour of this day. When placed in the window above the great doors, your coat of arms and royal cipher will bathe the hall in colour and be seen daily by members and staff as they walk through to their offices, as well as by the many thousands of visitors we receive here weekly from both home and abroad. For we must remember that your Jubilee will be celebrated with joy in your other realms and territories and throughout the rest of the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth, as we know it today, is of course one of the great achievements of your reign, and under your leadership continues to flourish with a membership of 54 countries. It is still growing. It is a tremendous force for good in the world, and we are aware of its special personal significance to you. Many of us present here today take an active part in the work of the United Kingdom branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association. We work to share our experiences, to learn from one another, and to promote democracy. But our efforts are as nothing compared with those of Your Majesty in the service of your beloved Commonwealth. Over the years, you have visited all but 2 Commonwealth countries, some many times, and attended all heads of government meetings since 1997. We look on with admiration and with pride at the triumphs of some of your recent tours. And it is significant that members of the royal family are representing you this year at the Jubilee celebrations being held in all those lands in which you are head of state. Your Majesty, the Lords spiritual and temporal in Parliament assembled, give thanks for this, your Diamond Jubilee. We look forward to the years to come, and we pray that you and your realms may enjoy the peace, plenty, and prosperity that have so distinguished your reign.
So the Lord Speaker presents the address on behalf of the House of Lords to the Queen, which she accepts with a smile. And once the applause has died down, the Speaker of the House of Commons, John Bercow, will present his address.
Most gracious Sovereign, we, your faithful Commons, are honoured to be here to commemorate and celebrate the 60 years of your reign. We too are pleased to have contributed to the Jubilee window to be revealed shortly and which will mark this occasion permanently. Time is better preserved in this historic place than in fallible human memory. Time also tells its own story. 60 years ago, rationing meant rather more than a short wait before the arrival of the latest electronic item. 60 years ago, Britain had just emerged from a war of an intensity never seen before or since, and had slipped into the shadow of the Korean conflict. 60 years ago, a new Elizabethan era was awaited with enthusiasm, tinged with uncertainty about the challenges ahead for the country. If, as Gandhi asserted, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, then Your Majesty must have found yourself countless times over the last 6 decades. You have dedicated your life to others. The daily example that you set, mirrored by our courageous armed forces of which you are Commander-in-Chief, is extraordinary. Yet perhaps Your Majesty's most profound contribution has been to the continuity that has made change manageable. For transformation is inevitably turbulent. It has been your singular accomplishment, your unique capacity to hold together that which could have been torn asunder. You have moved with the times and allowed the times to move around the rest of society. This is a different Britain from 1952, but not one detached from then. We are, in so many ways, a much bigger, brighter, and better United Kingdom. This is a land where men and women today are equal under the law and where your people are respected, regardless of how they live, how they look, or how they love. This is a nation of many races, faiths, and customs, beginning now to be reflected in Parliament. All of this progress has occurred during your reign. You have become, to many of us, a kaleidoscope queen of a kaleidoscope country in a kaleidoscope commonwealth. This gathering is one of many diverse events across these islands in tribute to you and this great anniversary. Our affection as a nation will rightly embrace the Duke of Edinburgh and other members of your family. These will be moments striking for the sincerity expressed as much as for the scenery encountered. 60 years of stability, 60 years of security, 60 years of certainty, 60 years of sacrifice, 60 years of service. Gandhi also observed that, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. Your Majesty, in a gentle way, you have shaken this United Kingdom and the world for 6 decades. On behalf of all the members of the House of Commons, may I thank you wholeheartedly for all that you have done, are doing, and will do for the good of our country.
So it is the Speaker's turn to approach the throne and to present the address to Her Majesty on behalf of the House of Commons. And John Bercow will return to his seat, and when he arrives back in his place, he will then signal to a colleague to unveil the gift, which is the window.